Hey, hi. My name's Yara the Wizard. Hi, hello there, wizards and apprentices. Welcome to JeraScape. It's been a while. I have a lot to talk about, a lot to explain. But first, let's just do a time lapse. Well, now that I've explained absolutely nothing, let's get to explaining. What you just saw was some of the making of my guardian farm. Now, I didn't show you the part where I physically built the farm because, I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of people who are much more talented at redstone and farm tutorials and stuff like that. You just go watch one of those. And in fact, you can watch the one that I watched, which was by Duty Boy. And that link will be in the description. But anyway, what you saw was me building a lot of the outside of the Guardian farm, which we're gonna go over to a little later. First, I want to show you what's been going on around here. You know, it's been a year, maybe even more, since I have made a video on this world. The last thing I did was I built a windmill with short range that is way over there. You can't even see it from here. But, you know, in the last couple months, I really just kind of wanted to start recapturing Minecraft for myself, just enjoying myself, having a good time. So I started building. I just started building. I knew that I wanted a dock over here. So, you know, built a dock. Nothing too crazy over here. Nothing really to see. But I knew I wanted it to have a drawbridge. That's the exciting part here, is the drawbridge. I love this. I love that it's still traversable by foot, because as you can see, no wings yet. I did just get this handy trident a couple weeks ago, which honestly has made building the Guardian farm so much easier. Oh, but yeah, that's actually a good time to transition into this. I built a ship as well. I love building ships. This is my favorite one I've ever done. It's in my colors, it's got my favorite blocks in it. It's got that kind of red and blue and purple combination that I love so much. And yeah, just big fan of it. Doesn't have a name yet. As we get over to this side of the dock, you can see I've built one of those, I don't know, it's like a signal fire. I saw these on Sea of Thieves, so I built one. Oh geez. Hang on. Hold please. This is actually a great moment while we're running back over here to tell you a couple things. One, hey, yeah, no, I didn't quit YouTube. I've just been really busy, and you know, making videos takes a lot out of you. Two, my voice sounds different, doesn't it? Isn't it cool? I like it. Check out the base from here though. With everything, with all the new changes, I just really feel like it kind of made it feel more complete, having this little sort of gate area, the ship coming in. It just makes it feel much more alive than it did before. We're also going to talk about that building in a minute, because I know that's also new to you. But first, I'm just going to wander through this area. I made a Japanese garden, and you know, I did my research. I tried my best to do it as accurately and respectfully as I can. If anyone has any corrections, please feel free to tell me in the comments. But yeah, here's my torii gate. Here's a bit of a rock garden. Very nice. Lantern. And then over here, my traditional Japanese house. I'm real proud of this one. This is another one that I did just to sort of recapture my love of building, and it absolutely did that. We did some trees around the outside because a little touch of early fall, a little early autumn, that's perfect. So we'll go inside. So here's the Genkan where you take your shoes off. So hang on, shoes off. My inventory is a mess. Okay, yeah, we take our shoes off here. Boop, boop, boop. Nice little entrance. And then here we have a kotatsu and some lovely panels here. And I did the rooms because you can't really have sliding panels. I used trapdoors all the way, and I sort of left space. But here we have toilet room, the bath, little shower over here for where you shower first. There's a kitchen in here that I really was inspired by the kitchen in My Neighbor Totoro. And back door. And then we can go over here. I have sort of like an office. And then upstairs. So the balcony goes all the way around. So you can see everything. And inside, we have some stairs up to the attic. Nothing too crazy up there, just an attic. And the bedroom. The bedroom I like because I did it a half slab up so that you can have your futon on the ground. And yeah, little windows. Boop. And that's it for this house. I just kind of wanted to show you. But we will now move on. Because I promised I'd show you that building. And I haven't forgotten about the Guardian farm. I know that's the whole reason you're here, isn't it? To see what the heck I mean about a liminal Guardian farm. What is that? Well, we can talk about it while we make our way up there because it's a long way up. Let's chat. So, liminal spaces, right? Y'all know liminal spaces. You've been on the internet the last several years. A space that just sort of feels off, but in a way that feels nostalgic and kind of comforting, but also kind of creepy. I love liminal spaces, and I think Minecraft is such a good vehicle for that. But yeah, I started thinking it would be really nice to have some prismarine. There's a lot of warm colors around here, but I really don't have any blues, other than some blue glass here and there, and the water, of course. But I thought, you know, it'd be great to have some prismarine. There's like 4 ocean monuments in that little zone over there, so I was like, okay, I can do, come on, you can do this, Yera. It's not that hard. Just drain the monument. So I started draining it, doing the thing that you do. You just kind of bit by bit with the sand, and I had mining fatigue for a lot of it because I was afraid of defeating the guardians. Y'all know, I'm not the bravest player. But we're here at the building, and my storytelling is all over the place. This is where my wheat farm used to be, if you recall from the beginning. And I always knew I wanted to put a building up here, but I didn't quite know what it was going to be. But, you know, it came out, I was really freewheeling it. I was just placing blocks. I just picked colors that I liked and placed them. And I'm actually very happy with how it ended up turning out. We've got, you know, as I call it, the Pajama Sam color scheme, just red and blue and lighter blue and a little bit of teal. And, you know, of course, the green to make it fit with the environment. We'll go in a second. I want to show you, though. So, you know, this was my initial gazebo, right? The first thing I ever built here. I turned it into a garden because I needed some life. Oh, and I found more dogs. Since there's, you know, all these new colors of dogs in the world, I found some more dogs. They're around the place now. But I'm going to stop teasing. We're going to go in this building now. So I turned this into sort of my new storage room and my bedroom up top. I love doing storage in weird ways, and this time I just put it into the floor. There were some that I wanted labels for, like the things I could do buttons. Everything else, though, I mean, I just know where it is. Like, okay, honeycomb. Yeah. First try. That was not like edited. That I just, yeah. Roots. Or, oh no, I was thinking of these thingies, whatever these things are called. Mangrove roots. Okay, almost right. Anyway, stop hecking around. Here it is. I've been keeping with the very open theme, you know, open windows, lots of circles where I can, to make it fit with the rest of the base. And I think it's done just the job. If we peek out here, we can see that windmill that we made with short range, my textile building. And over there, we don't even really have to go over there. It's not too crazy. But I made a little sort of witch's hut stump where I imagine someone sells lanterns, because we have all the different new colored lanterns now. So, but over here, I kind of made it like it was maybe once a chapel that's been repurposed for my purposes. We've got sort of what was once an altar here. This is where I keep some of my valuables. Lovely new copper helmets. Cats are meowing everywhere. You're gonna see why in a second. First, we'll go up to the bedroom, because we gotta sleep. Got a little smelter up here, a desk. Here's Chan Chan, the baby, and we'll go to sleep. Good morning. Check out the map for the area. If there's one thing that can honestly make me feel like something is complete, or like not complete, like we're not done, to be clear, but if there's one thing that makes me feel like a base is cohesive, that's the right word, it is looking at a map view of it. So if you're ever kind of feeling crummy about your build, make a map. Look at it from above. It'll make you feel cool. Goodness, okay, let me explain these cats. So, a thing that kind of bums me out about single player sometimes is the fact that it is single player. I struggled with the sort of isolation of it, and with finding a way to make the story fit with the fact that I am the only person who lives here. Oh, I gotta put my shoes back on. But then my partner had a really, really good idea. We've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter, and he had a great idea to use cats as a sort of stand-in, like Palcos. So, and that's a perfect time for my cat to start meowing in real life. But yeah, now the cats work here. This is the Muscular Chef from Monster Hunter. Yeah, hi, Teddy. This is the Muscular Chef from Monster Hunter World. And as we go down this area, well, first, here's their bedroom. This is where the cats live. There's going to be more. I need to find more cats. But they have a bedroom. But as we go down, we're just going to see more cats. These areas, you saw me build them before, but I didn't know what to do with them yet. Now I know. That is the place where they grill the food. Down here is where they brew, stuff, beer, I presume. I don't like beer, but maybe someone does. Maybe the cats do. That's Palomino. And yeah, so this is where the brewery is. You see, these guys are sort of working on a pulley to get stuff down, because down here is, and there's a dog, down here is the bar. So that's nice. And then we go down here where there's the honey farm and the sugarcane farm. I think like maybe they use that for brewing too, right? They brew mead and rum. But yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff that I built, like sort of on my own, just when just trying to recapture the magic of the game for myself. And it worked. I'm right here. I'm here. I'm talking to you. I'm recording. It's just, I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be back here. And it's nice to feel, the magic of Minecraft again. Also, I managed to fix my freaking iron farm. I don't know what the heck was wrong with it. But after a bunch of noodling and doing what felt like the exact same thing multiple times, it randomly started working. The one weird problem that I'm having is every so often an iron golem will spawn on like one of the leaf blocks. I've seen it happen. I don't have video proof of it, but I saw an iron golem spawn on a leaf block. Everything else up here is slabs. So sometimes the farm breaks itself that way. Let's actually see what's happening, because I don't see any spawning. Let's see what's broken. And then I promise, we'll go over to the Guardian farm. I promise. Let's troubleshoot. Is there anyone in the water? Sometimes they go down here. Is it full? Well, that wouldn't prevent them from oh, there it is. See? See? He's on a leaf block. And he's breaking the farm. The great news is I'm actually going to leave him for now, because I have so much iron. The farm actually started really, really producing, so I have a lot of iron, and you'll see I actually used it a lot on the Guardian farm design. But, alright, fine. At least we know what's wrong. I'm going to use a boat to get over there, because while I love this trident to death, it is loud, and I think that would be detrimental to our storytelling. Okay, so we were telling the story of the Guardian farm and why it exists. So yeah, wanted Prismarine, did the thing where you drain the monument, built the farm from Duty Boy, thanks Duty Boy, it works real well, cool. Right, so I had built the 5 main pillars of the farm, and lit from below, it just looked so ominous. Eventually I started thinking, let's lean into this. I've wanted to do a liminal build in Minecraft for so long. I had plans for it for Crossroads Season 2, which I didn't end up being active on at all, but I had plans to do liminal stuff there, but here we are. So a thing to let you know, this side is pretty much complete. So you see how underwater here it kind of looks like an office building, almost like an office building sunk underwater, and that is what I'm going for the exterior of the exterior. You'll understand why I'm specifying that in a second. Now it's not all done, right? You can see where it starts to become sand. It's even more like that on the other side. So these are the two most done sides. But yeah, I put the water in because I learned, and this was very key to the building of this area. Welcome, by the way. Here we are. Guardians do not spawn in 1 block deep water. They spawn in 2 blocks or more deep, but this is the edge of the farm. So you'll see there is water throughout my build, but all of it is only going to be 1 block deep. Okay, yes, so I had built the 4 central pillars. Woo! I built the 4 central pillars. It looked extremely liminal, and I wanted to lean in on it. So I went searching, and I found a bunch of pictures, you know, a bunch of reference images. Some I was already familiar with, some that I was less familiar with, and I just built a library, and then I just started making a ton of white concrete because I knew I wanted the inside to feel like this. Now this is what you saw me build in the time lapse for the most part, was the exterior of the interior. And this part is cool. I really wanted it to feel like that sort of liminal brutalism architecture, and I wanted it to feel like it was closing in on you from all directions, and I didn't want you to be able to really see any of the other details from here. So I brought you all over here before it was finished, as you saw from the outside. And the reason is, I actually do want you to see some of these half-finished elements, so you can sort of see where my brain is going before I show you the final product. So we'll go in here first. This was the first area I built that was like the interior of the interior. And I designed this hallway. Don't mind all the backstage areas. I designed this hallway based off of the long hallway in LSD Dream Emulator, which, if you're a fan of liminal spaces and you are not familiar with it, you're in for a treat. Go and check that out, either through like a Let's Play or find it yourself and play it. But it's just a well-beloved, psychedelic, strange game, and you know, at the end of the one hallway, the room sort of opens up into the sky. This was sort of my vibe over here. Parts of it I'm kind of making a little parkour because, you know, why not? And then here's where it stops being done, right? We'll go back into the main area. And there's going to be all sorts of ways to connect between everything. Whoop. Oh, yeah, for instance, I just fell into the void by accident. I didn't actually mean to go here. Back to plan A, which was to take you up here. I love the trident. It's really been making this whole build so much more fun. But yeah, up here, right? This is gonna lead somewhere. This already is starting to lead somewhere. You can go up here, which brings you to the top. Or if I wanted to go down here, more areas. And I'm planning on just sort of doing a labyrinth. I want every area to start connecting into other areas in strange, unexpected ways. Like this is gonna be a sort of like a science-looking room, a sort of electronic-y room. Over here will be a long hallway that will lead into another area. Let's get out of here, though. The problem is with it being half finished, is some of these places are, you know, they lead only into nothingness, and they're hard to get out of. Oh yeah, the other side of the long hallway, I kind of turned it into like this fleshy, kind of gross area. This staircase, now I based it off of this image that you see on screen here, but I also based some of this. You see how there's a staircase that you can't really get to if you were to, you know, be a person who follows normal rules and doesn't climb over railings? That's based on a true thing that I saw back in college, long time ago. Me and some friends, we discovered this strange staircase that led seemingly to nowhere and was not accessible, really. And we were so curious where it went, so don't tell anyone. They lowered me down on a rope ladder, and I found out it was just like some old utility storage that isn't used anymore. It's really not that exciting. But the mystery... Excuse me, a freaking... He's a traitor, and he's ruining my story. The mystery is the point, though, rather than the actual destination. Anyway, up the stairs. Can't get there. Can get here. another one that's based sort of off of one of the images that I flashed through earlier. And this leads out here, which is one of the ways to get out, as long as you have a trident. I don't actually have a way in here built for if you don't have a trident. So if I ever spawn in here having died and lost my trident, I am out of luck. Whee! And now this corner, I'm starting to sort of turn into sort of the playrooms a little. You've got some tubes that don't really go anywhere. This is actually from that hallway we were just in. If you go through that tube, you end up down here. There's this castle. This is gonna get filled in. I ran out of clay. But I'm a big fan of the just weird little portals to nowhere in this castle room. And then this was a space that I initially left by accident because I ran out of clay. But one time I was coming through here and I looked up and I went, whoa, that's cool. I like how far it is up. It really gives you a sense of scale. So I'm gonna leave that when I turn this area into the next thing that it's becoming. So we got some pool rooms action, and then over here we've got a sort of reflective thing. I've always loved this effect and I've wanted to try it. It's not perfect, but we're working on it. Got an elevator. This area isn't finished yet. And if you go up though, so this is that view from where you saw in the castle, right? And up here, I'm gonna do a sort of mall looking thing, because this area where you can see up for a ways and imagining sort of balconies and upper levels and lower levels really started reminding me of a mall, especially like an old mall that's kind of a dead mall. No one really goes there. And those are some of my favorite kind of places. They're so interesting to me. So we're gonna have some mall stuff, maybe a retail store or two. And yeah, I wanted to show you this half-finished state because I wanted you to see the bones of it. I wanted you to see that it's just large spaces divided into smaller spaces, and then those smaller spaces turned into rooms. Because I think a lot of times people get a little intimidated by the really big projects, and this is one of my bigger projects by accident. This kind of labyrinth like that would be pretty pretty intimidating, and it's just a matter of breaking it down into pieces. And if I can finish this, maybe I can finish something even bigger someday. I like this area too, where it sort of devolves into like cubism. This is another area that's based off of a real life image, just this sort of abstract looking pillars. But this I thought was just fun. I like the idea of the building sort of losing its own structure for a bit there. But anyway, that was a lot of me talking, so I think it's time for you to see the finished product. So I'm gonna see you in a little bit. And ta-da! It's done. It doesn't look any different probably from your perspective, but the inside of everything is done. We're gonna take a little tour. There are so many different paths you can take through it, but we're gonna try and see everything. And yeah, let's get started. As you see, the storage system is gone, which is of course how you know that a build is done. Let's go through the long hallway first, because I already showed you this. So you guys are ruining the liminal vibe. You're absolutely ruining it. I can't. Do you know one of the liminal space? Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, one of the definitions of a liminal space is like having no living things around, or no like animals, people. Yeah. I vowed once to never harm a wandering trader, and I will keep that vow. We're gonna start over here instead. So in here is the elevator room. I tried my best for that sort of reflection effect. It's not perfect, but That's pretty good. You know, it's really my first time trying this effect, and I think it's alright. I think it's alright. So we have a lot of different choices in this room, right? We can go up into the mall world, we can go over here into the playrooms, or we can go over here into some pool rooms. I think we'll start here. So in here, just some sort of arches and pillars and pools. I was just sort of trying to get the feeling that comes across in these pool room pictures. It's very simple, but I think that's part of the charm of the liminal spaces, is that they always feel familiar in their simplicity. So from here we'll go into the sky rooms. Now the sky rooms are of course this entrance here. What direction is this? North. The sky rooms are the north entrance. So in here we have our Truman Show door. Thanks Greg for the idea. This is my way to get out. Remember how I said I didn't have a way out if I didn't have my trident? Now I have a way out. I can go out through here and just be in the ocean. I showed you this part before. Very inspired by LSD Dream Simulator, this room. I'm happy with how it ended up. This one definitely, you know how all builds have an ugly phase? This room had a very ugly phase. I do actually like how we ended up, but if I can actually manage this parkour, I did make it easier because I kept failing too many times and getting frustrated. But you can get up to the upper sky levels. You can have a sneak peek into an area we'll go into in a minute, but this is the upper sky level, another area we'll go into in a minute. But there's another parkour over here. I tried to make it so that this room sort of looks like it's upside down, like that's sort of the ground and a river, and then we're in the sky trying to reach the ground. I don't know if the effect really worked. See, this is another example where I made the parkour easier because I kept freaking falling and getting really frustrated. But now we're up here. And up here, as I showed you before, this is one of the ways that you can get out. But now, this is, we're still on the north side, but we're gonna go over here for now. So this is the part where we devolve into cubism, remember? Now it's filled with some stuff, some areas, some places. So we're not gonna go down into there just yet. That's the mall. And the mall, I think, is my favorite part of this entire build, so we're saving it for last. We have a sort of art gallery here, which I thought works well with the sort of abstraction that the build takes on here. And you can look down into the sky rooms. You can technically go this way if you wanted to. And actually we will, because I want to save the mall for last. I'm most proud of how this build looks at night. Because of the lighting at the bottom, a lot like Minas Morgul in Lord of the Rings, it gives it such a just scary, ominous vibe. It really, I don't know what is so scary about like pillars, towers, monoliths, but I don't know, it's freaky in a way that I enjoy. But ignoring these guys for a minute, get out of here. So, most of the doors in the long hallway... You are bugging me. You are... I said I'd never harm a trader. I didn't say I'd never harm a llama. You are so irritating. Get out. At least he has the decency to be invisible. Anyway, long hallway, yeah? So... a lot of these don't go anywhere. They lead into some kind of blocked off void. But some of them do lead places. I'll show you which ones in a second. First, we're gonna go back through the fleshy room, into the red hallway. Up here. Now, we'd been here before, I remember, I showed you. We're gonna actually use this and go down. We didn't do that before. Dropping down into the playrooms here. This room hasn't changed much. The castle room hasn't changed much, except I did finish the walls and the places where they were unfinished. I really love the castle room. It's very simple. It's very simple, but I love it. It really gets the effect across, in my opinion. It's creepy, and I love it. Here is our view up into the mall. We're not gonna go yet. We're gonna go through here. Told you, there's so many different ways you can go. Back into the reflection room, back into the main area. And we're actually gonna go from up here this time. Whew. So, you remember there's a few little voids here. We'll go through this one first. So, this hole leads into Dark Void, which has 2 places you can go. The first is the top level of the sky voids, which I showed you before. The second part is down through here. And what's this? Oh, we're in the long hallway again. Interesting, interesting. Let's go back up, because there's so many places we can go from up here. And this one's simple, but I still like it. Another weird little void you can fall through. And, I mean, you can kind of guess it from the direction, but yeah, we're in the long hallway again. And there's one more door that goes somewhere. And we're gonna go from above again. Whoop. This time. Oh wait, did I show you? The very top part. So yeah, weird little sitting area. This area. A little other art gallery. This is the very topmost level of the sky area. And you know, I just kind of needed to fill the space, but I do like how it turned out. It feels like sort of the art is coming alive and sort of devolving the place into abstraction. Back up. Now here's that space with the 2 pools. Another set of abstract stairs. We're gonna go up there in a second. That's another place that has some new details. But back here, we went here before into another little pool room. This leads into the hallway. But back here we have something new. And whoop, we've fallen. Now we're in this lab. And I was using the crafter blocks a lot here because, so fun fact, I made a bunch of crafters thinking, oh, I'm gonna automate the guardian farm. I'm gonna make it so it crafts all the things that I need. It was too hard. It was too hard. I gave up. Maybe I'll try again someday. But I gave up. So these are now decorative. Isn't that nice? Decorative consoles and wiring and all that jazz. But this away we go. The flooring in the hallway here, I actually got the idea from Bjorgus on Reddit. Now they used the leaves over some glazed terracotta. I used it over honeycomb. But it got the same cool effect of just a very busy sort of 70s looking carpet. And just go this way. Gets a little dark. I've been loving playing with the light levels. I love that we can go down to 1 in our darkest zones without spawning anything. Back here. And of course on stairs we can get all the way to 0. And surprise, surprise, the long hallway once again. That's all the ones that lead places, I think. Let's see, where haven't we been? Let's start in Mall World, and then we're gonna head over to the final little top area that I added. So in my dreams, I have these really labyrinthine spaces. I don't know if everyone has those, but I know some people do because I've been seeing people talk about it on TikTok. And especially the people have been talking about the concept of Mall World, which is the place where all these sort of mall and hallway and bus station, liminal spaces all come together in this sort of labyrinth in people's dreams. And I have that. I have those kind of dreams. So this is my sort of tribute to that. We have the mall levels. Now you kind of have to go up to go down. We are on the top levels of the mall right now, but it's a good way to get a first look down. So there is our castle, as you see, and we have a bunch of closed storefronts, and you know, it's just, we finally used some tinted glass for that scary shadow effect it gives if you put black concrete behind it. I love that. And yeah, down here, it really feels sort of like I shouldn't be here. It feels like it's closed, like I've been locked in. And then in here, this was one of the last ideas that came to me, was a sort of creepy little retail store where it's just a little too shadowy. Honestly, I want to wait until it's night because it gets nice and dark in here, but since we're a slab up, it's not gonna spawn anything. Hang on, I'm gonna wait for it to be night. Why does a Minecraft day feel so short when you're building and so long when you're waiting for it? Anyway, yeah, hi, we're back. It's night now, and the mall is better at night, see? Definitely feels like we shouldn't be here now, and that is what we are going for. Going into the retail store. This place I like. It just feels like there should be something out to get you behind every corner. And the new shelves are really nice for this. I like, even though they don't look a lot like shelves when used with like the other shelf blocks, I think they do a good job of being like store dividers. And, you know, lots of mannequins. I still need to make some more leather armor to finish it up. You can technically go this way as well to get over to the art gallery. We'll go this way, actually. Rain, you're ruining my moments. But we'll walk around, actually, because this is a fine enough way to get to our final area that we haven't seen yet. Now, we're on top of the mall here now, and now over here you'll notice there is actually an empty space. This is on purpose. This is because I like this build so much that I have the distinct feeling that I'm gonna think, oh, you know, I should have added this, I should have added that. So there are a few empty spaces still kind of between the rooms that can be filled with other things and given ways to connect. So this area left blank, this area left intentionally blank. If you have any cool ideas for what to put down there, let me know. Final area. This area also kind of intentionally left blank. Maybe I'll add decorations, maybe I won't. I kind of like how empty this looks. It really feels like, it actually feels like a place in my workplace. And this up here, that's a reference to that, this one famous photo with like a seating area that you can't actually get to. I love those, so I put one of those in. Up these stairs though, we get up to here. And I walked through here before I finished, and you know, I've just added some details. Here's just sort of some bench seating. Kind of feels like a subway track almost. And this way, a cafeteria, or, you know, mess hall or something like that. You know, we've got the stools and the high counter. We've got all the little booth seats. Some generic plants. Very sterile. Lots of glass. This reminds me of my old college. It reminds me of places that I've worked. And all of those places, when it's nighttime, when the lights are off, they feel creepy in the coolest and most nostalgic way. So I put it in here. And this, if you recall, leads back down to here, which leads over here. Freaking rain. I was gonna do my outro outside. I think with that, I have finally showed you the entire build. I'm pretty sure. I do want to go up to the very top, maybe not the top part of my AFK area, but one of the higher areas, just to show you the view as we look down, because it just looks really neat. You get to really, even from up here, you can see all the different sections so well, but I want to show you from above, because you can see the scale so well. One more, I think. Yeah, this one. I love how this thing looks. I'm so happy with how it came out, and you can really see as well, even from here, how efficient the farm is. So thanks again, Duty Boy. But yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna show some replay shots of the outside of it right now as well, so you can see the sort of sunken office building thing. I think it really came together. I'm just so happy with this one. This is the biggest thing that I have built since the lighthouse that you see behind us. You know, the things that I had built since then, they were all just little projects here and there, or, you know, things that I had help with, like when FCD and Short Range visited me. It feels good to be able to do something like this. Now, I wanted to take a bit of a serious moment here at the end of this Minecraft video. I glossed over it earlier with jokes and stuff, but it's true. It's been a year and a half since I've made a Minecraft video, and it's been most of the year since I've made any other kind of video. The reason for this is it's a little complicated, but a little simple too, right? So everybody knows that YouTube is super punishing to small creators, and the last couple videos that I made, they just didn't go the way I had planned. Like, I was happy enough with the final products, but I got lost in the numbers, and more so than that, I got lost in the opinions of people who absolutely shouldn't matter to me. I was really hurt, and I'm already so prone to disheartenment and disillusionment. You know, it's really easy for me to just say, what's the point? Nobody's going to watch this. The thing I need to remember when I catch myself thinking those things is that it's disrespectful to you. The person who is listening to me speak right now, the person who did watch, who watched this video, whether it's your first Yera video or whether you've loyally watched every single thing I've ever made since 2020. You know, no matter who you are, I appreciate the heck out of you, and your presence means more to me than you could ever know. If you ever think that your one little positive comment to a creator doesn't matter, I really need you to think again, because it took me learning about just one person who liked my videos and missed seeing them to give me the kick in the pants I needed to get going again. One person's words, delivered through a mutual friend, it meant the absolute world to me. So shout out to you, Cindy, and thank you, Nate, for delivering the message. I've been down this road before, and I'm not gonna make, you know, grand promises of streams every Tuesday and weekly videos, but I can promise that I haven't given up, and that I won't give up. I'm proud of the work that I do here, even if it's not frequent, even if it's not world famous. Thank you for believing in me, and I hope to see you next time.